What's up, YouTube? So I just did a video on searching your symptoms on Google, which I highly do not recommend. Highly don't recommend. That was weird. Do not. Anyways, so imagining symptoms. This is common with people with health anxiety or hypochondria. I dealt with this a lot. Basically, when you think about a symptom hard enough, or if you focus on an area of your body hard enough for a long enough time, it's kind of like muscle memory. Signals to your brain continue to tell you that there's something wrong with that part of you. Man, I can name a billion things that I have like imagined, and whenever I got my mind off of it, magically it disappeared. I'll give a couple examples. One, I had stomach pain, and I had stomach pain one day, and I basically convinced myself, because I'm very irrational with my thoughts when it comes to health, and I have health anxiety. And I basically convinced myself I had colon cancer. So this bothered me for like 2 or 3 weeks. I kept telling myself, man, there's nothing wrong with me. And then I'd start feeling it again, like, oh my gosh, what's the problem? And I was doing all that, Googling up symptoms and everything, and all led to that. So I was convinced, I had colon cancer at the age of 24. And anyway, so this kept happening. And then finally I made a doctor's appointment, okay? Made a doctor's appointment. I was like, oh, thank goodness I made a doctor's appointment. And what do you know? 20 minutes later, that pain disappeared because I was relieved of it. I was like, you know what? I made an appointment. I'm not going to worry about it until it happens. All of a sudden, that was gone. So basically, and I didn't get that pain back. So I just like imagined these symptoms and focused so hard on it. And now I had no pain there. Chest pain. Now that comes hand in hand with stress and panic attacks, as we all know. And it's a scary thing because we don't know if we have, heart is what gets your, keeps you alive. So whenever you have something going on wrong with that, or you think the pain is related to that, it's very scary. And a lot of people have heart, anxiety, health anxiety involving the heart, basically. And I'm going to do a whole separate video on this. But anyways, whenever I was going through my panic attacks and stuff like that, my chest got tight, and I guess I had pressure, and it was muscle tension in there. For the next 1.5 to 2 years, I had chest pain. I went to the doctors, had EKGs done, had blood work done, and I came back, it all came back fine. Told me I had stress and anxiety, quit smoking. So I quit smoking. I had smoked for about 1.5 or 2 years. So I quit that, and it kept going. And eventually, one day, I just kind of thought, well, nothing's happened to me, and I need to just relax. And I think I got my mind off of it for a few days, and it usually never happens after that. Like, I was fine, I wasn't having it daily. Now, when I have panic attacks or get really stressed out, it'll kind of happen still because it was like a muscle memory kind of thing. Brain memory, I don't know how to explain that, but that's just kind of how it worked. So basically, that stopped happening, and I rarely have chest pain anymore. And if I do, I'm highly stressed, and I'm getting my mind focused on it. I think the heart health thing really gets to me more than anything else, so I still kind of struggle with that. But it is very possible to imagine symptoms. So if this happens to you, and I would either make an appointment or just try your hardest to take your mind off of it and go do something, and you'll realize that all it took was not thinking about it. All right. And it's hard to do whenever we're obsessive about it, especially if you have hypochondria. But you got to find a way to get out of that because it's a very bad, vicious cycle. It's going to continue. You'll feel better, then something happens and it comes up, and you're like, oh my God, this is wrong with me, and it keeps going and going and going like a freaking nightmare, okay? So it is normal to imagine symptoms, especially if you have a lot of stress and anxiety and you're focused in. I was hyper aware of my body. I can tell you what my pulse is right now without feeling anything. I can literally feel my heartbeat in me because my body is trained myself, my mind has trained myself to know anything going on in my body. So it sucks, it's a curse in a way, but if this happens to you, it is normal, okay? It can happen, it's possible, okay? So there's been people that have told me that's not possible. No, it's possible. You can do your own research on the computer. There's a lot of stuff about it. So if you're going through this, guys, I'm sorry. Like I said, try to take your mind off of it. Diet, exercise, nutrition, all that plays a big role in that. So thank y'all for watching this. If you've experienced any of this, leave me a comment down below and let me know what you went through, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks a lot.